Hello, my name is Elizabeth Glass, and this is my interactive whiteboard lesson plan on the 1920s, or as it's more commonly called, the Roaring Twenties. The first thing you'd notice about my lesson here is that it's designed sort of like a web, so there's multiple different arrows off the first box here. I wanted to make the lesson diverse in the sense that it'll cover a majority of learning styles, because not all students learn the same way, and I wanted it to be a bit more interactive and accommodating for students who learn differently. So back to this little bubble here. The first thing you'd notice is that there's a little link here to a YouTube video. This hyperlink will take you directly to a crash course video on the 1920s as an overview for the students before they complete the lesson here. So in this first section here, off this little arm, I created a matching game using boxes and post-it notes here and here, and you can fill them with colors and outline them differently. And so students, as I have written up here, will draw lines between items in column A and the correct definition in column B. So using the pen tool, the students can pick a color and will match the word, here it's flappers, to the definition, women who wore skirts and had bobs. I also wanted to make this lesson even more interactive and a little bit more visually stimulating by adding photos down here. So using the pointer tool here, you can click and drag photos, and I wanted students to be able to match them to the correct definition in the columns here. So for example, this jazz musician here, you click on the photo and drag it to the correct definition in column B. So a second part of this interactive lesson, I wanted to assess and see what the students learned about the 1920s. So I added a comment to this little box here, telling them to list their favorite facts about the 1920s and post them in this space that I was calling the whiteboard, using the post-it notes here. So I made the post-it notes slightly larger, which you can do by clicking on the box and hitting switch type, and you can pretty much change it to any type you want. But I chose a larger post-it note here because I liked the way it looked. And they will drag, and students will be able to drag the post-it note using the pointer onto the whiteboard, click on it, they can adjust the size of the font, certain things, and type their favorite fact that they learned during this lesson. I'm just going to type nonsense here, but that's where the fact would be. The third part of this interactive lesson plan is I wanted the students to create a drawing on an important image or invention of the 1920s, and they would do this in this little box space here. They would click on the pen, adjust the thickness, change the color, what they would like to draw. And so this time around, I'm going to draw a picture of a car because cars were huge during the 1920s. I apologize for the quality of the drawing. It's really not very good. But it conveys car. And that's the end of my lesson. I really liked using this tool. The interactive whiteboard really adds a creative touch to the lesson and is engaging for students. It's a lot more moving around and less just sitting and listening to someone lecture for an hour. So I hope you enjoyed my lesson, and thank you for watching.